Hello and welcome to the Comics Atlas. This is the series in which we talk about the complete history of comic book characters. Daredevil takes central stage once again and we enter the year 1967. Let the new year bring new and amazing foes for good old Matthew. Last time we checked on our lawyer friend, he was stuck in Europe with no clothes or money. He gets a lot of attention, the kind of attention a man dressed as the devil will get on plain daylight, but it's by a gang of local rebels. They have no chance against the American hero who steals a jet from them and reaches England. Now in the Isle Nation, the newspapers show his old ally, Caesar, who seems to have gone rogue. Murdoch goes searching for his friend on his castle that's been surrounded by police. Caesar is paranoid and attacks the other hero in a fit of rage. Knowing the battle is useless, the man without fear makes a call and immediately knows what's happening. He lures the whaleman to the waters near the building and in the bottom they find a submarine. Surprise, surprise, it's the Plunderers gang. Our protagonist knew it was him when he called the warden of his prison and confirmed he had escaped. Now together the hero defeats Caesar's brother and the lawyer finally can take his flight back home. As Matt is leaving the plane, a new villain is waiting for him right off the door in New York City. A jumping man going by the name of the Leapfrog tries to kidnap the blind man in public, but he's only testing his powers and leaves him alone. Now Daredevil can go back to his office where Karen and Foggy are preoccupied about him. They hadn't seen him since the battle with the Tri-Man and worse yet. They received a letter from Spider-Man claiming their missing friend is Daredevil. When the man enters the office and is confronted by the facts, he makes up a lie. All along it was his long-lost twin brother, Murdoch, who did the superhero thing. Karen and Foggy don't really believe his family drama, but they leave him alone, ready to change his costume and go on patrol. He's still bugged by the Leapfrog and wants to clear his mind for the time being. In the dead of the night, the Frog and the Devil meet each other and ultimately the amphibious threat is gonna get caught. In between fights, we read the most ridiculous moment of Daredevil up to this point. It's Matthew posing as his non-existent twin brother. Let me tell you, the lawyer really gets into character here. He's a loud and proud ladies man, what's not to like about him? The next two issues, 26 and 27, promise to be the unmasking and the end of the Masked Marauder. He's been fighting the man without fear for a nice couple issues by now. I expect a big payoff. It's a day in court for Nelson and Paige, but Matt is still preoccupied playing cool guy Mike. The Leapfrog stands against the judge when suddenly he jumps out of the courtroom and to the feet of the Steelman. That's right, the metallic giant is back and wants to recruit the Frog to work in tandem. Mike becomes Matt, and Matt becomes a very confused Daredevil, swearing that he saw Steelman disappear in front of him the last time they met. The villain did disappear, but just recently recovered his size and his life of crime. Anyway, the fight doesn't end well for the villain. Matt uses the wire in his billy club to take down the giant and save the day. Yes, that's clarified by his friends. During the turmoil, the Marauder unmasked, revealing he was Frank Farnum, the building manager for Nelson and Murdoch. Does it make sense? Does it matter? Kinda, sorta, not really. While on street clothes, he saves Steelman from being apprehended, so there's that, I guess. Both men regroup and put their efforts on finally getting rid of Daredevil. Everyone now knows Nelson and Murdoch have a relationship with the Vigilante, so they know where to strike. An unexpected Daredevil patrols the street of the city searching for Steelman, but he only gets a cameo from Spider-Man. At night, the hit occurs. Using gas, the man with the stilts is able to take our three protagonists as hostages for questioning on the identity and whereabouts of the man without fear. Above the city on a helicopter, Matt is the first to sing, lying and telling Mike is Daredevil. Steelman is convinced of the fact and goes down in the search of Mike, but he doesn't count on the other superheroes of New York watching him. Spider-Man is waiting online and he won't take it easy this time. Still on the air, the Marauder is ready to get rid of the legal team once and for all. He activates a force field around the chopper strong enough to disintegrate anyone who touches it. A desperate struggle mid-air results in Matt seemingly falling to his death. Our protagonist, of course, is too crafty for that and merely uses the opportunity to change into his heroic persona. For the last time, the hero and the Marauder fight, finally learning it was Farnum all along. That will be the last time Karen, Foggy and Matt will ever see their building manager, as he will accidentally fall from his own helicopter, disintegrating from their lives. Just in time also, as the Devil is able to reach the Steelman and finish him with one last blow. Bonus issue number 28. Matt goes to college for a lecture. He finds a bunch of aliens with a blinding ray and drives them off the planet. Okay. The end of the saga of the Masked Marauder was long overdue. I never got what he wasn't caught after his first battle against Daredevil and Spider-Man. He was generic and a non-threat at all. To me, it doesn't make sense that he is the building manager for Nelson and Murdoch, because being someone we know adds drama? Yeah, but it has to be someone you care, not a faceless nobody. In any case, I always knew it was gonna end with a whimper rather than a bang. When you look at the villains, you gotta think the creating team is like 30 issues in the life of the character and they haven't established any sustainable villain. Just let me read them. The Plunderer, the Leapfrog, the Masked Marauder, and Aliens. Nowadays, who remembers any of this? Maybe still man for dedicated fans? The only half memorable moments are the cast interactions, but even those can be rocky at times. Mike Murdoch takes the cake this week. This whole idea of a professional lawyer and a secretary falling for that is stupid, and yet I think it's funny. Don't get me wrong, it's one of those jokes that gets really old really fast, but just for the pure nonsense and silliness of the ruse, I'll give it thumbs up this week. I don't expect to be this generous next week around though. Anyway guys, that's all for today. Don't forget to leave your like, share and subscribe down below. You can also check my other playlists on Spider-Man and Thor. This is the Comics Atlas, and I wish you all a nice existence.